Imagine you're the owner of a building, and people who live in your building usually complain that the lift of your building is slow. Each time you hear about this problem, your tendency is to jump straight to the most obvious solution, which is to either replace the lift with a faster one or make the existing one somehow fast by replacing the motor or something. But you don't have the budget for any of that. So how do you solve this problem? Let's figure it out. If there is one thing we can agree on, is that life is full of problems, and how we resolve these problems on a daily basis determines our success, failure, happiness, and almost every outcome that we face. The Sufi philosopher Izrat Khan once said, "Life is a continuous succession of problems, like waves from the ocean. They never stop." But most people aren't really good at solving problems, because if they were, there wouldn't be so many problems in the first place. In this video, I'm going to describe to you a 7-step method to solve problems really effectively. This method is an amalgamation of credible research and my own thoughts on the matter. After you learn this, you would be able to solve problems in a far better way, whether they are personal, financial, business problems, or any other kinds of problems. And if you're watching my videos for the first time, then please subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And if you'd like to listen to this as a podcast episode where I've explained this in a bit more detail, then you can do that by clicking on the link in the description below. Let's get into it. The first step towards solving any problem is recognizing there is one. Remember, there are some things that you can do absolutely nothing about. They are not problems, they are merely facts of life. If your favorite political leader didn't win the election, then it's not a problem. There is nothing you can do about it. You just need to accept it. For example, recently LinkedIn launched a new feature called Stories on its platform. A lot of my friends on LinkedIn were worried how LinkedIn was becoming the new Facebook. I mean, it's not a controllable thing. There is hardly anything you can do about it. So the first step is to look at your problem and ask, is it really a problem? Is it something that can potentially have a solution, or is it something that you just need to deal with? If it is something that you just need to accept, then sooner you accept, better it is. Problem resolved. Now let's say something is actually a problem, which means you've analyzed it from the lens of the first step that I just described and come to a conclusion that it is indeed a problem that you need to solve. The next step, the second step, is to define the problem. Clearly define what exactly is the problem. Doctors believe that accurate diagnosis is half the cure, and therefore you need to understand your problem from left, right, and center. And that's how you will know what your actual solution to the problem will be. Let me give you a real life example. Say you've been in your current role for many years and you haven't had a promotion. Now that's the problem that you need to solve. I mean, the problem is you aren't getting promoted. Well, it seems like a simple, straightforward problem, but it's not. If you keep digging, you might find that it's not so much your own promotion that you want, but your colleagues are getting promoted every now and then, and that makes you feel like you should be getting promoted too. So is the problem that you need to get promoted, or is it that you can't make peace with others getting promoted? And it's important to understand this clearly, as both these problems will have completely different solutions. Say that you know what exactly is the problem. The third step is to break down the problem into smaller pieces. This particular step is going to help us with the best and most effective solution to the problem. When I learned computer programming, one of the things that I got in the habit of was decomposing the algorithms, meaning breaking down problems into smallest parts, and it helped me solve things quicker. But that was computer science. Can you actually break down big real life problems? Yes, you absolutely can. In fact, the rule divide and conquer works here too. Break down the problem into easy, manageable parts and then solve each part on its own to solve the ultimate problem. Now let's understand this with a very simple example. If I ask you to write a book, like an entire book, it will seem like a daunting task. But if I ask you to write one page every day, then it won't seem as difficult. Instead of seeing the exercise of writing a book as one big problem, see each page as one small problem. Solve one and move on to the other. This way, before you know it, you will end up solving the ultimate problem. Now you're past the problem. You've analyzed the problem, understood it clearly, even broke it down into small parts. After this, you have to start to focus on the solution. And the fourth step is to define all the possible solutions to your problem. And in most cases, there will be multiple solutions to a single problem. Let's take the example I quoted in the beginning, that you're the owner of a building and people who live in your building usually complain that the lift is slow. And as per you, the only solution is to either replace the lift with a faster one or make the existing one fast. But you don't have the money for either of those solutions. It's a problem. But if you look beyond and try to explore, there can be other solutions to this problem as well. For example, you can install a mirror in the lift. Usually when there is a mirror in the elevator, people are busy looking at themselves, noticing their clothes, face, hair, and they don't usually keep track of time. Now, this is another solution for the same problem, in fact a cheaper one. Just like that, there are always going to be multiple solutions to a single problem, and you must take the time to explore them, to understand what all solutions are available to solving your problem. The fifth step is to go with the best solution from all the possible solutions. Now, this is where you need to make the right decision. And how do you make the right decision? Is not by implementing the solution that you think is the best, but by considering the pros and cons of all the solutions. And sometimes it will be easy to know what the best solution is. For example, if someone is hurt in an accident, then the immediate solution is to focus on caring for the injured person, stopping the bleeding, etc., and worry about other things, other solutions later. However, sometimes it will be a choice between what's appropriate and what's most appropriate. Always weigh in the advantages and disadvantages before choosing a solution for your problem, and then make the decision to go with a particular solution. After you've implemented the solution, how do you know it was the best solution and it actually worked? That's where you need to apply this sixth step, which is to put a measure in place to ensure your solution is sustainable and the problem doesn't keep reoccurring. Let's say you did install the mirror in the elevator. How do you know it fixed the problem? One simple way would be to notice if it reduces the number of complaints, and if there is a significant difference in the number of complaints now as compared to the number of complaints before, then yes, your solution worked. And if not, you might need a replacement after all. The seventh and the last step of problem solving is that you own your problem. This particular step doesn't directly relate to solving the problem, but the reason I've included it in there is because not always you will be able to solve the problem. Not always your solutions will work. And when something goes wrong, the usual behavior is to become angry about it. Look for someone else to blame. But even if that happens, as it sometimes will, you need to take full responsibility for your problem, because passing the blame on someone or something is just a waste of time and it doesn't solve anything. And this was the 7-step problem solving method that I brought to you today. And that brings us to the end of this video. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this, or what approach you follow to solve problems. Also, if it's your first time watching my videos, then do subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I'll soon be back with another video, and until then, stay happy, stay healthy.